Grab your snacks, hide your show meets, ditch your reliance, and let's dive into this Big Brother drama with Kinda Unhinged. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another Big Brother video, and I'm sure you already know by now that Adrian was the third house guest to be evicted. So let's get into this interview that Entertainment Weekly did with him after his exit. What went wrong? Why are you here talking to me now after 24 days inside the house? Oh my lord. Well, there's a lot that went wrong. I think the biggest mistake was throwing the first HOH. Absolutely. I said it 1,000 times before I went in the house. I wanted to win the first HOH, to join a winning alliance from a position of power. But then I decided that I really didn't want to win it when I got into the house, because I wanted to see if I could kind of fall behind the shadows and take it chameleon style, try to blend into the background, not become a target. But the downfall of that was I already created too huge of a target by becoming the first person to cross my bridge and almost win the first competition. Plus, not that I was the biggest guy in the house, but I was tall, I was athletic, so people already viewed me as a huge physical threat. Whether I was or not, people are going to make any excuse to make you a target. During the first HOH competition, I immediately knew it was simple physics. I knew exactly the order it needed to go in. The only thing I didn't really plan for was how bad the other house guests were going to look at completing this. I was like, oh my gosh, I look too good. So I started taking my time. I don't know how obvious it was or if you could tell on the first episode, but I'm just kind of waiting for someone to pass me. And then Vince started getting there and won. But then towards the end, the only thing that made me a huge target was the fact that I was associated with Kelly and Keanu. Kelly played such a fast, aggressive game and put a target on her week one, and I was associated with her. I believe there were some people that genuinely did trust me and believed my word, but the problem is that I was too huge of a competitive threat potential. It was like I was the comp beast that never won. It made no sense. Like, I kept getting close, so how can I be a comp beast and a good competitor if I never won? Do you think the house is playing scared?
Absolutely.
Some of them, yeah, like Catherine, Lauren, they're both playing scared. I would say some people aren't ready to take shots yet. Some people want to fall in the background. I don't believe Ava would want to win HOH. I know Jimmy wouldn't want to win HOH either, because they're putting up easy targets. Jimmy, he could have put up anyone, but he decided to put up the easy targets, Keanu, Kelly, and me. They're using pawns like Amy and Will. I think most of the house is playing scared at the moment, but I know there are some people willing to take shots. People are about to take shots. It just depends who wins next. It's all about who wins next. I'm not sure what you even know at this point, since this is your first interview. Do you know how all the votes went? No, not entirely. I could guess three. I'm kind of certain on the fourth, but not too sure. You got four votes to stay. Who do you think they were? Keanu, Kelly, and Zach. The one I'm wavering is Vince or Riley. But if I had to guess, maybe it was Vince that gave me his vote, not Riley. Simply because I know I didn't get Catherine's vote, meaning I most likely didn't get Riley's vote. And Riley could have potentially been that person that flipped the first week. So if I look at the evidence, it should point to Riley, but I don't know as of this moment who were the four votes. The four votes were Keanu, Kelly, Riley, and Catherine. No way. Catherine? Dang. Oh my gosh, I was so wrong about that. Dang. Okay, I mean, I swore I would protect them, but I guess Zach was saving his game. Dang, it was Zach and Ava as the votes I guess I needed, and Vince. Yeah, Ava and Vince and Zach had a conversation, and Ava kind of essentially convinced them to play it safe and convinced them that they should not become targets, voting against the rest of the house. Kind of maybe feeding into your theory about people playing it safe and not wanting to make waves. How does that make you feel hearing that about Zach and Vince? I mean, I can't blame them. I knew it was coming the last day. I wouldn't say they weren't talking to me, but I feel like they knew something I didn't. I don't know what was shown, but the night of my eviction, I had a feeling and I kind of knew that me or Kelly was going to go home. And it was so upsetting because I freaking love Kelly to death. She stressed me out so much in that game, but at the same time, I didn't want to go home. But I didn't want to see Kelly go home, so I was torn. So last night, sitting on that chair, I was angry. I was upset. At the same time, I was sad because I was like, if I win, Kelly's going. And then I'm left. And that's the ideal scenario. Obviously, me staying in the house. But at the same time, Lauren put that nail in the coffin. She was going to break one of us up, and I knew it. Let's talk a little bit more about that emotion, because we saw a lot of tears last night as soon as you lost the BB Blockbuster. What was going on there with all the emotion? Oh man, it was so hard. It was incredibly hard and disheartening for me because I trained so hard for this and I didn't want to let my family down. I came here to win the money and I trained so hard for it. And I knew where the votes were going to lie, more or less. I knew I wasn't going to win, but I tried to have some hope. Before sitting in that chair, I knew people were going to lie to me. Rachel even told me in the have not room right before I asked her, "Where's your vote going to lie?" And she said, "It's going to be Will either way." And she's like, "I believe people are lying to you." I'm like, "I know people are lying to me. I absolutely guarantee people are lying to me." But the plan was to win the blockbuster and then come after those people that weren't going to have my back, that were lying to me. Because eventually in the house, everyone's going to start lying. And it would just make it easier for me to target. So the plan was to win and then win the HOH and then go after those liars, the people that I couldn't count on their votes. Where does Keanu fall on that? Because you seem surprised. Julie told you he voted for you to stay. You mentioned you were looking at going after him. Yeah, he's one of the few people that voted for you. I didn't like liars. Keanu lied to me a couple times. The biggest one that was obvious was his power. I looked at him and said, "Hey, do you have the power?" He said, "No, but I'm trying to figure out who it is." And then the second week, I needed to pitch why people vote for me over the other nominees and simply put the house target was Keanu. So I had to play it like, "Hey, I'm a competitor. You've seen my track record getting close to win. Now he doesn't have a power to save himself. I will take that shot for you. You just have to keep me in the game if you don't want to win the blockbuster." So week two, I had to basically pick a target that the house wanted out and said that I would come for that person if you kept me. And the fact that he did lie to me was the reason I would have came after him. It wasn't against anything against Keanu, but the whole house wanted him out. I was associated with him. He was a great guy. I mean, I freaking love Keanu. I love the fact that he pulled himself off every single time with the veto. I would have loved to have done the same thing. I didn't get to compete in that veto, but I feel like I would have done pretty darn well if I did. But I guess I'm here now. You and Rachel barely communicated at all inside the house. Why not? Because I didn't know if I could trust her. It was hard for me to connect with her because every time she did talk, she sounded very interviewy. She was like trying to get people to cry. She would ask people, "What is your sweetest moment? The best moment you ever had?" But she sounded like an interviewer. I know she works in casting and stuff like that, and she was asking me as if it was the interview. She sounded robotic, and I didn't know if I could trust her. I knew she was a big target, and I didn't want that target on my back. Like Amy. Amy got close to Rachel, and that made her one of the targets and one of the reasons people wanted her out. So I knew I couldn't get close to Rachel, and I was also willing to take that shot if need be. I didn't want to make a promise to her that I couldn't keep. Honesty was a huge part of my game. I hope people saw that because I didn't want to lie. Who are you rooting for to win the game? Absolutely Kelly, 100%. If not, maybe Zach. Zach was my guy. I tried to give him as much information as I could so that he knew that I had his back 100%. Of course, the following weeks, me and Kelly were put up and kind of agreed that we should distance ourselves, unfortunately, to try to take the targets off our backs. I would have loved to continue to play with Kelly. I felt like we could have done some real damage, especially if we had won. When I tried to convince Lauren to not put me up so that there was a chance that me and Kelly could survive. Of course, I'm rooting for Kelly. She's super smart. I just wish I could have given her more insight on how to win certain comps. I was ready for a lot more comps, like the spelling comps. I have the most perfect word that is high in value, short to spell, easy to find letters, and I was like, this is going to be killer if I had ever competed for it. What was the word? I don't want to say it. I can't say it because I want to use it. Because I'm hoping that one day I want to go back in that house and I want to win Big Brother. And I'm going to hold on to that dream. I can't give out all my secrets, but I did have a word that she could use if she didn't know one. Can I guess your word? Is it technotronics? No, but it's a higher value than that, I promise. And I would say less letters. I saved the most important question for last. What can you say about your showmance with the bread? It's pretty strong. I mean, it is still with me. Holds up the bread. Wow. I won't lie. I love this thing. It's soft. It's fun to play with. The whole house is playing with it. We were all playing games in the living room with it. I love this freaking piece of bread. I had to take it with me before I left, so I think we're going strong.
Wow.
Wow. Adrian and this piece of bread. Well, guys, he said he wanted to come back, and I said in my last video that I think they should bring him back. I do think that he would do really well in this game, given another chance. So let's hope that they bring him back at some point. You guys let me know what y'all thought about this interview in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe. If you like this video, please hit the like.
Flirters, you better grab a life vest. Kristen.